Welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at how to make a great character. And what's the reason why? I've been stuck in the house a lot recently with my partner and we've been watching One Piece. And it made me reflect on all those great, fantastic and amazing characters that they've got in there. And it made me reflect on my writing and what I think a great character should be and what traits and interesting quirks and things that they should have to make your story stand out from the pack. And that first trait that you have to think about is they need to be human. And here what we mean is the character needs to have some sort of humanity about them. They need to have traits or personality quirks that you either like, dislike, admire or despise. They can be this outlandish fish-human hybrid, but it's their character traits that stand out that make them interesting for an audience. Things such as they always sacrifice themselves to defend the innocent, for example, and even keep the promises to the people that they respect. The thing here, emotional engagement is key. You need to be able to emotionally engage with that character. Otherwise, there isn't really an impetus, there isn't really a true hook that will keep you invested in a story past the first few pages or the first few scenes. And this emotional engagement can happen in two ways. Their humanity and their character traits, and their desire or their need to do something within the narrative. And it's because of this, if they have traits which make them human, they make you like them, they make you dislike them. If you have this emotional engagement, and the character also has this desire or this need to achieve something or to want something within the narrative, it allows you to draw the audience in further and invest in the story, because you won't hold that interest if the character doesn't really want anything. Taking One Piece as an example, Luffy wants to become the king of pirates, with other sub-goals such as saving his brother Ace, being accepted by his idol Shanks, and eating as much food as humanly possible as quickly as possible. And small goals that make the character interesting and really connect with the audience on an emotional level. For example, the character can be this superhuman with incredible powers, but then wanting to do something as simple as find their brother or eat loads of food allows them to become very relatable with the audience. And I'm not saying you need all of these details straight out of the gate when you start your stories, but you need to know why your characters want to continue on this journey. And these traits and needs and wants allow the audience to understand why the character continues to push on, even through all of these obstacles. And speaking of flat characters, your other characters, the supporting cast, all of the NPCs, they need to be able to take a stance, a perspective on your main characters, on your protagonists, on your protagonist friends, on every other character in your narrative. The easiest way to do this is to take those traits and those desires that we've built upon earlier and think about how those relate to the other characters' wants, desires, needs and traits. What do they think? Do they agree with the character? Does the character's desires get in the way of another character's desires? Does another character think more or less of them because they own that specific kind of trait? Whatever stance that the characters do take allow you to create conflict within the narrative. These are the ups and downs of your story, the life breath of your story. And let's do this as a simple exercise. Let's think about Harry Potter, for example. And let's think about his motivations and desires. You've got internal, smaller goals, such as wanting to be a part of a family, learning magic, spending time with friends, learning more about Hogwarts and its schoolmaster. And he's also got bigger, more external goals, such as finding out what happened to his parents, fighting Voldemort and his minions. And it's with these little motivations, these smaller ones and bigger ones, that put him into conflict with the other characters in the book. It's this conflict that drives story. This makes the obstacles that he faces, these fears that he confronts, more than just an event that happens in the story. And I think that's the biggest problem that a lot of newer writers face, is that they just create a series of events that happen to the character rather than the character engaging with it because they have a desire or a small goal within this scene, within this chapter, within this small story arc. So definitely watch out for this in your writing. And also in one of my upcoming videos, I'm actually going to be talking more about conflict and how it can help to build your role-playing worlds, your storytelling in your books, your short stories, your film scripts. And remember, any of these little tips or advice can be applied to so many different things: role-playing, music, branding, and even content creation. So please like this video if you thought it was helpful in any way to you. And please share to other writers, game masters, people looking to get into role-playing, writing short stories, creating stories in your branding or your content. Basically anybody who just wants to tell interesting and engaging stories. And please subscribe so you do get access to future content. It's mostly going to be tailored towards writing, role-playing, telling stories and filmmaking. Please write down in the comments below what you're currently working on and I look forward to reading it. I'll see you in the next one.